Okay, and we're here.
We're back. What's up, guys? Welcome back to our YouTube channel / Spotify / whatever you're listening
else
on.
it is. Yeah, it's on a bunch of stuff. I don't know. Anyway, so we kind of have a topic today, and something USA brought up and put on the topic list, and it was about needs and wants. Could you elaborate kind of what that is?
Yeah, so I think, well, I feel like everyone in general kind of struggles with needs and wants. Sure, we have basic needs and basic wants, things that we have been taught in school, basic needs, basic wants. But I feel like there's also a blurred line to where people don't necessarily know what some needs are or some wants are, depending on situations. Even in examples of how you talk to yourself, if that makes sense. For example, I used to say, I need to go to the gym. I need to eat this much. I need to become fit, that sort of stuff. But in reality, it's not so much of a need. It's more of, I want to do this because it will make me a healthier person. And that's why I want to do it. Not so much I need to do it. So I just think there's a very broad way of thinking with wants and needs, because to me it almost feels more of a choice,
Whether it's a need or a want?
yeah. But yeah, so that's why I kind of wanted to touch up on it a little bit, just because it's definitely been a thing to where it's been doled down so much, especially in school, that I feel like it should be just elaborated more, because it's a lot bigger than you think it is.
So what you got on this then? What's a need? What's a want? How do you distinguish between the two?
Well, a need, let me just pull up the notebook. A definition, I guess I should say, for needs is referring to an individual's basic requirement that must be fulfilled in order to survive. And a want is described as the goods and services which an individual like to have as a part of their lives, really. But yeah, and just reading those two definitions, like what I already said about my thought process with talking to yourself, is just already completely different,
Mm-hmm. So what do you need to survive? And then you go down the line, you're like, oof, shoot. Most of the things I say I need to do, I don't really need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like a lot of things too. So, gosh darn. Well, I kind of had a thought with the needs and wants thing. It was very similar. You said that it was a choice, needs and wants, which one it is. And I kind of had something similar to what you were saying, except different. Instead of going on the internet and watching stuff or looking up, I just decided, I'll see what my brain comes up with.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just kind of thinking through things, and the end result came up to that needs and wants are all relative and completely directional, which the directional part would be choice. Like a need is going a certain direction with, requirements and items. So I can bring you through that whole thought process to reach that if you want.
What you're saying there is like it's kind of more situational as well.
Extremely. It's all reference frame, and you have to know another point next to it to know where this one is.
Yeah.
So
I get you.
Yeah. So kind of how I came to that was I just was like, okay, what is a need? And how people say what people say a need is something has to happen in order for something else to occur. You had a better definition there with survival, and the survival was the thing that has to occur, and so it would be the requirements for survival is a need. But this is more of a broad definition to kind of go around that, and it all depended depends on that reference frame. Like I kind of thought, okay, you know, something to kick is needed to play soccer, but you never really needed to play soccer in the first place.
Yeah.
That's very obvious. And so then you think, okay, there are varying levels of need then. Okay. I mean, with the survival one, it's what's survival, you know?
That's true.
Survival, that's kind of a needle too. Some people would go more to a biological definition. Others, you know, not so much, would be a little more broad. So it'd be like, you know, I need a drill to finish this deck in a day. And okay, that's a need. But let's bring it a step back. You know, I really just need a screwdriver to finish this deck.
Yeah.
I mean, that would take a long ass time.
Yes.
But really, you don't need the drill if you're
True.
if you're hardy. But if you take it another step back, okay, I need screws to put this deck together.
Yes.
Yeah, you need
Yes.
to start that. Yeah.
You
Okay.
at least need screws
You need
before
the
you get the screwdriver.
Exactly. But then you take it a step before that, you know.
A step before?
I need the materials to
Okay.
build a deck.
Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe
That makes
I, you know, maybe I have an alternative method of, you know, cutting the wood, placing the planks. I don't need screws. It's going to be a lot harder with screws, but maybe I don't need
Excuse me.
screws. Oh, you fixing your hair.
No, it's just the headband was.
Gotcha. And so even before that, so before you even need the materials, you're looking around and you're like, man, I'm like in a city, in an apartment. I can't build a deck anywhere. So first you would need space to even like before
So
you
even
get to
before
that,
needing materials.
you need space to do that. So all of these are needs in some respect. But to, you know, to what end? You know, it's varying degrees. Like what do you want? You want to finish it in a day? You need a drill. You know, but if you just want to build a deck, you may not need the screws, you may not need a screwdriver. And that kind of brought me to wants. So wants are kind of like lower level needs or access to your reference frame.
Yeah.
So, and everyone goes, well, yeah, duh. So it's like, I want space for a deck. So you clear space, say you bought a house or something.
Gotcha.
You clear space for a deck. I want materials to build the deck. So you buy the planks.
Yeah.
And then I want to build my deck with screws. So you buy the screws. And then I want to screw the screws in, of course. So I'm going to buy the fucking screwdriver. But that takes way too damn long. So I want to go buy a drill to make it go quicker. You know, buy a drill, make this deck in a day. So these things are kind of like, they're on the same coin. They're the same thing, but not. And I kind of came up with kind of a different definition of need. And to classify a need, it would have to be a serious, commonly understood want. So
Okay.
it would be like, I want food because I want to live.
Yes.
I want to provide for my family, right? So you could flip that. I need food because I need to live because I need to provide for my family.
Yes.
So it's commonly understood that you would want these things to get to that end result. And so it kind of becomes a need for that to happen. And so it signals, you know, priority. So it's like this giant pyramid of like needs and wants. And, you know, depending on the direction you go up or the direction you go down is whether it's a need or a want. So let's see. Oh, I had other examples like, I need space for a deck. Wait, do I need a deck right now? Maybe you don't even need a deck right now. Winter's coming. The heat's not working. You know, you want your family to be comfortable and warm. Okay, so that's changing the parameter. I need to get the furnace checked out.
Yeah.
You know? I want a deck. So now instead of a need, it's a want. Instead of a need for space for a deck, now I want a deck, you know,
Yeah.
but you don't need it. And then maybe you need to save for that deck if you want it. So you change the end result again, the end parameter.
Yeah.
Okay, you want it, but what do you need to get that? So again, it's just directional.
So, you know, it's kind of funny. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before on one of our other podcasts, but it was the whole surviving thing. Like you're out in the wilderness for maybe days without food or water. and then you come across it's the stupid hut thing. Like you just come across a hut,
Oh.
and then you go up to them and say, "Hey, can I have some food?" You know, the person with the hut's probably gonna ask you, you know, what do you want? You're not gonna really think of anything in particular. You just want food because you
Yeah.
need to survive. You need to keep going. So
And I guess from there, you know, in the hut, then it changed when he asked the question, "What do you want?" Now it changes the parameter from just like food, because now you got options.
yeah, because like say, you know, you need, it's pretty much like if you need a phone. I think you can kind of relate to this because you're talking about downgrading your phone, but it's pretty much like needing a phone because you need to communicate to like your boss, because you need to communicate with your boss or something of that sort, you know, communicate with your friends, text them, do whatever with it. So it's like everything that right there that you need is just in a flip phone, you know, something you wanted to do at one point.
Yeah, for a while.
And you know, that's perfectly fine. It does everything you need it to do because that's all you need. Above that is just paying more for extra accessories and features. Most of the time it's just things that you don't need. So I just think it's very interesting how you can go from something at like a base form and then just pay because of you want more.
Yeah, it's more wants, and it just stacks on top of each other. But they can all flip to needs depending on, you know, what you're trying to do.
That is true.
Say, I mean, you need something to, or you're trying to record content on the fly. You need to, or you want to, you want to get everything uploaded quickly, edited quickly, like very simplistically. So, I mean, you know, maybe you need a phone that's capable of more than just texting and calling
sure.
to accomplish those time constraint goals.
Yeah. And that's where everything comes back to, it's situational.
Very, yeah.
Because if you have a job, a remote job, you know, you're going to need a stable internet connection, whereas some other people don't even need the internet to make a living. They just have it for entertainment.
That is
And who knows, you know, their situation could be different too. You know, maybe they need entertainment to,
take the edge off.
yeah, take the edge off, have a better mental, you know, have better mental stability. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, that's so we've kind of established like what needs and wants are and how they're directional, you know,
Yeah.
and how they're situational. But where do you draw the line from your needs and your wants?
That's a tough one.
That's the question, though.
Because in my eyes, it's just one big blurred line that doesn't have an ending
And
or a
it's-
beginning.
It's funny because we just started and you're like, yeah, everything's blurred. So we're just going to
Very
elaborate
blurred.
a bit more.
Very blurred.
Elaborate a bit more. And it's like, wow, it's even more blurred than in the beginning.
All right. So what was the question again?
Where do you draw the line between a need and a want?
Man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
That's the whole question.
That was the whole question.
Yeah.
But it's stupid because it's so broad.
Okay. Start somewhere then.
I mean, just if you just narrow it down to like what they taught you at school.
Okay. What
Needs.
were you taught at school? Because I'm not quite sure.
Like needs being food, medication, the healthcare, bills, that sort of stuff.
Oh,
like
I mean-
things you need to get paid. I guess they mostly teach you in a how to manage your money way. If
They
that
taught
makes
you
sense.
how to manage your money.
Not necessarily how to manage your money, but it's more like how to identify things in importance with your money. So like, should you really be spending your money on a 70-inch TV when you could be paying a bill?
I mean, maybe you need that 70-inch TV.
Okay, but
What keeps you from needing that?
So
70-inch
would
TV?
you answer me this?
riddle me
Would
this?
Would you buy a 70-inch TV or not pay your electricity bill?
It depends. What is the 70-inch TV for? is it going in my house or is
Yes.
it going elsewhere? And do I need it to make money with what
Well,
I'm doing anyway?
That's all up to you.
That's all up to me.
That's all up to you. Use your imagination.
I'm gonna decide that the TV is not for me. It's for our job, right? And we need this screen, this TV, because say, something's absolutely broken. We were using it before and we absolutely need this TV to function. And I had just, I went over on my budgeting a little bit and I spent all my money. So now I don't have money for the electric bill. But if we don't put this TV back in and get to a regular functioning, then we won't have money to pay me my next paycheck. So in this instance, I need that TV.
It'd be more believable if you told us why you needed that TV. Just say it,
Well, okay. You're putting me on the spot here, man.
But yeah, I mean, you brought very valid points, but I think knowing why you need the TV is also important.
Here's one point, I guess, to where do you draw the line? I mean, you have to establish your parameters, right?
Yes.
So what is
I feel
your
like we should make
situation?
like a chart, just like with the base, and it goes up like a pyramid.
I mean, so establish your parameters, right? What are you trying to get to here? And I guess the first one is, I mean, you're in that story, it was, I need to make money, right? And it would seem stupid for me to buy a TV when I need to make money to pay a bill. But my goal is not to pay the bill first. That's a want. The first thing I need is to make the money because then I can pay the bill. So with that whole TV thing, I needed that TV to make the money so that I can pay the bill. So the need of making the money was higher than the need to pay the bill. So the bill was a want, but first the TV was a need.
All right. Another question. Do you think needs stems off from wants?
Yes. That is setting your parameter.
Okay.
You want to do that. You want to survive. This is what you need to do. You want to go make money. This is what you need to do. You want to be happy. This is what you need to do. You want entertainment. These things you might need. So I believe, yes, they needs stem fully from wants. But are they really needs though? You'd have to switch your reference frame and see in the broader picture, in this bigger reference frame, no, that's a want. But it's a need in a smaller reference frame. When you zoom in, it's a need. When you zoom out, it's a want. It's just changing your goal.
That's tough. That's deep. I don't know how to think anymore.
Oh, come on, man. It wasn't that deep.
What do I want and what do I need? I don't even know the difference anymore.
Okay, so what,
Pull me back in. Like, how do I differentiate these?
okay, are wants a bad thing?
I would say not necessarily, because if needs stem off of wants, then I feel like it's also a must.
So they're not a bad thing. So wanting something isn't bad. So what makes wanting something good?
I guess, excuse me, by wanting something, you set a goal for yourself. That's all I really have.
That's all really good. So, I
you
mean,
just have a meaning in life.
yeah, it would be the meaning. Like, what is coming from that want? What are you going to achieve from that want? So I guess,
Yeah, I want to make 6 figures.
hopefully in not a shady manner.
No, yeah. of
Okay.
course.
Okay. So
Truthful manner.
in a truthful, honest manner, you
Yeah.
want to make 6 figures.
Yes.
That is not a bad want.
Now tell me what I need.
What do you?
I'm kidding.
Oh man. No, I don't. Man, that went a lot shorter than I thought.
A very short. So,
Yeah.
guys, welcome to our next segment.
On what the hell we're talking about today.
All right, we're gonna probably take a quick pause.
And to, wow, F that up. All right.
Anyway, to end this off, should we just keep needs and wants as their basic selves? Because if they're relying on each other, really, or more needs relying on wants, I guess it could work both ways. Anyway, should we just keep those separate to make it simple?
In what manner? Like, don't be so back and forth with the. I think you mean like choose a reference frame. So how do you determine your reference frame? Because your reference frame determines whether it's a need or a want, right? So how do you choose that reference frame?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just really confused now.
I guess that would be your goal, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's your reference frame. So how do we choose good goals that would keep? Okay, I think there's an underlying question more than just because it does blur everything when you
Yeah.
say shit like this. So I think I understand what you mean by keeping them separate because that's confusing. So
Yeah.
right now in kind of these days, more of a need. What are you saying would be more of a need?
In these
Give us
days?
our reference frame. Yes. Like you were saying, everyone's confusing needs and wants.
Yeah.
So bringing more of a center to a need and a want so that, when I was saying earlier, like a serious, commonly understood want is a need, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are some serious, commonly understood wants?
I think. Well, I feel like once still is. Okay, let me just focus on needs. Let me just focus on needs. I feel like needs are pretty much the bare minimum of everything.
So what's the bare minimum of everything right now?
So in this like society,
Yeah.
definitely a phone for like commuting and
Your first thing is
And-
phones.
not even like a smartphone, man. Just get like a $30 flip phone. And then you get your food. Just
And then food?
this is in no specific. order.
Okay.
Yeah, food, water, nothing fancy.
Nothing
Just
fancy.
grab a bag of rice, just live off that for like 3 years. Water, it's everywhere. Just drink it. It's practically free when it rains.
Oh, Lord.
What else is there? Shelter.
That was a bad question. 'cause now you're just
grab yourself a cardboard box.
So I almost think of, do you remember in psychology, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Vaguely.
Vaguely. What was at the bottom? Do you know? Do you
no
think you
idea.
could pull it up real quick?
Yeah, I got you.
Because I think it was something like of course, like survival needs, and it was F. Something identity-wise. Hurry up and
Was it
look
Maslow?
Yes. What do we got on here? The base. Yes. Breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, homeostasis, exertion. Or wait, excrete.
Excretion?
Mm,
Excrete? Wow, we don't know how to read. Okay.
So, okay, using this reference frame, at the top is kind of morality, creativity, spontaneity. At the bottom is breathing, food, water, stuff like that. So that's our reference frame that we're kind of going into.
Okay, so in this it says everything, the breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, all that is more psychological. So more in your head.
So yeah, that stuff, I think that's a good basis because when you don't have those things, like we were talking about before, and even why it's structured like a pyramid, then those other things tend to fall apart.
Yeah.
So you can also think in the way your brain is structured to create things. If you're out in the woods and you haven't eaten for like several days and you haven't had anything to drink in several days, what's on your mind is not going to be, like, oh, what color are all the birds today? Let me classify each name. Should I do this today? Should I do that? You won't be questioning society and the, like, just the finer things or whatever. You'd be like, I'm really fucking thirsty right now. Anything that has moisture, I'm licking. Like, so that's kind of like it goes into
Yeah, and then you drink cactus juice and you just get loopy off of it.
But if we have, a society running on just that level and nothing else, that's going to be terrible.
That would be terrible.
There wouldn't be any safety, which is the next level. I mean, loving and belonging, that disappears.
Dang.
You just think about that. I mean, so then you get to the next level. Say you're satisfied. You got oxygen. You can breathe. Food. You had food today, right? I saw you eat eggs before. You got food.
Yeah, I did not eat a lot today.
But you had some.
Some, yeah.
Some. You got
I'm on the
water.
struggle bus right now. I'm on a struggle bus.
Well,
Like,
this may be a good.
I've lost a
This
lot
may
of weight.
be a good reference for you then.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're not hitting that bottom layer there, the other things are going to crash down.
That's true.
So, yeah, homeostasis, sleep. You getting enough sleep?
No.
No? Oof.
I've been sleeping earlier though, which is nice.
good.
So,
But you're on the struggle bus.
bam.
That's because, your bottom layer is getting effed right now.
Yeah, I'm not breathing properly.
All right. So the second level is security, like security of body, of employment, resources, morality,
Yes.
of the family, of health, and property. So to me, that I think of like, okay, no one's gonna walk up and stab me right now.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
So you're safe.
generally, yeah, unless someone's waiting, but
I mean, I'm not saying something will happen, but I think you can only be so safe.
okay. Anyway, yeah. So that's the next thing though. But when you have safety, you don't have to worry about as much. Think about if you're around a bunch of people who might hit you, you're on red alert. Again, you're not thinking of creative things like, oh, what should I draw today? Should I do a podcast? You're like, oh, are they gonna come out of nowhere? Or is that movement they're doing? Like, you may be getting fed just fine, but that's rough. And also resources. Do I have a job tomorrow?
I get you. But yeah, in this pyramid, like safety still, like everything above psychological still goes into it. So being safety, security of body is just, how you perceive your body, if you like it or not.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
It's just kind of that's what I got from security of body.
Oh, I
Or not
meant
being
like
harmed. in
physical.
general.
Yeah, I meant like physical.
So one or the other, because either or, it still goes under psychological. It will affect you psychologically.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not as much as those basic needs, but it will still affect you. Employment, you need a job to get those basic needs too. So that plays a big part. Resources, same thing.
Yeah, if the top one falls apart, then you're back on the bottom.
Yes. So even if a layer above, that, I guess in this case, the base layer, the basic needs just falls apart, then you're just starting from square one. So,
But I mean, one good thing is if anything above it falls apart, at least you still got the stuff below it. So you're not completely gone. It's just another place you got to build from. The next one's loving and belonging. So friendship. I mean, we've talked about friendship before. And,
yes.
I mean, shoot, that's important. That's important to life. But more important than friendship is, not having to worry about getting stabbed by your friend. So that'd be the first thing. So the safety again comes in right under there. And then you got friendship, family, sexual intimacy, stuff like that. And above that is esteem. So it says self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect from others, respect by others. And I really see that around a lot. I mean, well, a lot of individuals who, even though their confidence may be destroyed, I mean, they're still enjoying time with family and friends
That's true.
all the time. So that is a perfect, man, it's almost like they studied this.
Yeah, right. That's crazy. Maslow is crazy. What the-
I wish, man, I should have done research on that.
I should have done it.
Because now I'm like, but I got so dug deep into like the the blurred line of
Blurred
needs
line,
and
yeah.
wants. But yeah, and above that is your morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving. So you can do all that better when you have confidence, when you have self-esteem, when you believe in yourself.
Actualization.
Actualization is what it's called.
Actualization.
Actualization. So if you go to the bottom of this again, and you have food, water, homeostasis, sleep, everything else
About
above it.
excretion. Isn't
I don't know.
that?
I don't know how to read.
I'm pretty sure I know what it means, but I just want to double check.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. I just
it's
wanted to make sure.
Excretion.
Yeah,
Okay.
excretion. I was just like, I'm pretty sure I know what that is, but
Yeah. All right.
okay. I just had to double check.
The way you said it, excretion, I was like, oh shit. Oh, like I don't know
Yeah,
what that is.
excretion.
But everything above that is a want. So we could bring that to what we were talking about earlier, with your direction. So when you go up that pyramid, when you safety, that's a
Wait.
want.
So,
That's a want.
so say you're at the very bottom,
Yep.
and then like you said, everything above is a want.
Yeah.
The further you go up, is it just more wanty? Just like more?
It is more wants.
Is it like know how people say like
But you
needy?
move the line. It's needy.
Do you just get more
Oh.
needy?
So wait, if somebody's more needy, does that mean they're going down the levels?
I don't want
Or
and
is
needy.
needy? No, needy. It's necessitates. So
Yeah.
they have to.
Because
They need to travel up the levels more, is what I think it is.
Yes. Okay.
So
that,
they
that
need,
makes more sense.
They need to climb more levels.
So
to
not
get to the
not
place.
wanty,
Needy. Wanty.
but needy. Wanty,
Wanty means you're like top down, like you're already up here,
you're wanty.
and then needy is like you need
Needy.
to climb levels.
That's a little bit confusing, but it does make sense.
Yeah. So if you're needy, then you're over. You're at the food
Is it?
part. You're like, I'm getting food, but I'm not safe. That sounds so bad. You're needy. You want safety.
Oh yeah.
Or
That's what it is.
Friendship and family, like you really want that because you don't have it anywhere else. So you're needy.
You're needy. You want it, or I guess you need it.
You do want it.
You want it, so you
I
need
hate
it.
this because these are so interchangeable and it just moves like the
But-
overall definition.
Yeah, you like how I threw in the wanty and the needy.
Wanty. You're so wanty.
Yeah, why can't you be more needy? Okay.
So you want them to go further down because I'm looking at self-esteem, and I think when people when people refer to people as needy, it's because they haven't really achieved that esteem, confidence, or achievement. So they're trying to climb up that level. So they're kind of needy. They're trying to get that, but they don't have it yet. They're needy. And I guess like when you reach that level, then you're not really needy anymore. That's the level you're at. And then you look at somebody trying to climb that level and you're like, oh, they might be a little needy. That sounds bad though. I don't like saying it.
Okay, but
You're
it's
not on
in
my
the
level.
different meaning. We invented a new meaning for needy.
Jeez,
Anyway,
needs and wants makes me want to
good
cry.
question. So just like this pyramid, food
Yeah.
pyramid too. The base saying like, hey, you need to eat this specific food group. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't eat in terms of the food pyramid.
I have
so
mixed
would you
feelings about the
think-
food pyramid. So
Well, okay. Well,
Okay.
yeah. What I'm trying to say, do you think it's the same with this? Like, with the bottom layer, the basic needs, breathing, food, water. What if you just don't have sleep? Can that be gone? And then you can
think-
still have some safety?
because
I mean, can you still have,
I guess you can, but it does. I feel like it jeopardizes because at what point, like when you go so long without sleep, well, I guess, oh man, this is about to blur some lines because you can go a long time without sleep and you can still have all of those things.
Yes.
It may be harder to get, but you can think about all of these things and have self-esteem. And I think it's just long term. Like if you long
makes
term
sense.
are chilling at no sleep, it's going to start affecting everything. And I think like the longest somebody went without sleep is like 18 days.
Yeah,
And they
dude.
start to really fall apart. So, I mean, think somebody's been not sleeping for, 3 days. They may still be able to, be confident, well, maybe they got some help from something, but maybe they may still be able to be confident, but it's harder to be confident when you quite literally physically feel weak. And when you have no sleep, you may physically feel weak. Your friendships, family, that stuff may be harder to manage or to, put forth effort toward if your brain is just not reacting to anything anyone's saying and you're just zombieing or blowing someone off or getting aggressive because you've had no sleep. And so I think you could just go down the line. I mean, you have no sleep. You go to your job, you're not performing well. Maybe you jeopardize your job. You could lose your job from not
And then
performing
that's just
well.
like one less safety.
And that's boom. Now you're down safety. Now you're at the baseline thing. You need sleep. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. You're on your 18th day. You need to go take a nap or, things aren't going to stop for you. That's your reference frame,
Got it. No, that makes a lot of sense.
So I think you can play a little bit with this stuff. Like you can go days without food. You can go some days without water. I mean, sex, there are people who are sworn to celibacy. You can go without that. Homeostasis in the biological sense, you need that.
Yes.
Like straight up.
Yeah.
You might not last very long if you mess that up. Same with breathing. Those are fast acting, but you can hold your breath for 30 seconds
I can.
just fine. And all of this stuff isn't going to go down.
I'm trying to figure out where I fall.
On these? So where? Okay. Do you generally have your breathing down?
I want to say I have breathing,
Okay.
I have food, water, sleep, homeostasis, excretion.
Excretion?
Excretion. E. I forget it's an E, a long E sound.
Yeah.
I want to say
Do you feel safe though? Like, is somebody gonna clobber you at any given moment?
I think I go up to three from the base, honestly.
So you got some love
Yeah.
and belonging going
I
on.
have-
You got friendships and family. You got some intimacy.
Okay, so it's kind of weird because as of right now, I am going through something, but I do have a lower self-esteem. That's for sure.
Well, that would make sense because it's one above that.
Yes, but for self-actualization, I have been a lot, I guess,
Acceptance
more
of the facts.
Yes, acceptance of the facts. I
Problem
have been more
solving.
accepting of facts that are thrown at me.
That does pose an interesting thing because in order to climb up each of these rungs, like these layers, you have to have, some problem solving, some lack of, prejudice, some accepting of the facts, and even creativity and morality to keep going up these things.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this is a good pyramid to look at because this one has those at the top, but those are things you use to make it to the top anyway.
Shall we look at a different one real quick?
I mean, yeah, real quick, yeah.
Boom.
Achieving one's full potential, including creative activities.
And that's under self-actualization, the
That makes a
very
little more
top one.
sense. So this is when you got
Your full potential.
your engine is running. You got the gas oiled up. You just got a tune up, new car. You're going. Like,
Oh, this is interesting. In this one, the basic needs are safety needs and psychological needs.
so
it's pairing up
basic
two.
needs are paired up, which makes sense because I
That
guess
would-
you
yeah.
could kind of play within those.
That makes a lot of sense. So that kind of goes into what we were talking about with jobs and like needing internet type of thing.
Yeah, and like how you can go days without food, but you could still feel safe.
Yes. So that makes a lot of sense. And then psychological needs is esteem and belongingness. So like family, friends, and intimacy was
Yeah.
the other one.
Intimacy
So
and like confidence and
Yeah.
so Okay, I
So
like this one a lot.
instead of like 5 different stages, it's just 3 different stages.
It's 3 and some things are lumped together.
yeah, basic needs, psychological, and self-fulfillment.
Yeah.
So that's very
Because
interesting.
someone even argue you need safety before food, water. Well, no, because you could argue the other way around. But I'm glad they lumped them together.
Yeah, I need safety before I can get food and water.
Is there another one maybe we could look at and see if they have something
Let's
even different?
just click
more different?
on this one. Has a lot of words.
Oh, that's hard to.
Small.
Oh,
Oxygen.
wait a minute. 2, 4, 6, 7.
This one has 7.
Okay, so psychological needs, food, water, drink. Safety is next. Protection from the elements, such and such.
Oh, they added cognitive needs
Okay,
and
so-
aesthetic needs.
So after safety, it's loving and belongingness. So that's friends, family, work type thing we were talking about. Then esteem, just like regular, confidence, self-respect. Now it's the new one, cognitive needs. So that's knowledge, understanding, curiosity, exploration, and
need for
meaning and predictability.
Okay.
Like knowing. I don't know about that one.
I'm not a big fan of this one.
Yeah, aesthetic needs, beauty, art, nature, balance. Yeah, I feel like
feel
that
like-
one's.
This more goes to self-actualization.
I feel like this has less needs, a lot
Yes.
more wants.
Yeah. Any foozles.
Wi-Fi. Okay, that's a me. It was pretty much the
That's very
pyramid,
funny.
and then an even lower level it said Wi-Fi. Okay, now we're just browsing the internet. Jesus.
We are browsing, but yeah, I want to say we covered pretty much, what we needed to cover. I don't
Yeah,
know
I mean,
what else to
shoot,
add.
so
I don't
needs-
know what else to do.
Yeah, I mean we could do a shorter one this time and be better prepared next time.
For sure.
But needs and wants, just to sum it up, needs are things that are more of a base to the structure of pyramid. Oh yeah, let me look at the camera. It's more the base to the structure. And as you go up, you stack on wants. That's your directional part. And as you go down, they're pretty much needs for the thing that came before it. So
Wow, Brandon, why don't you tell me more?
are you pointing to me? Hey, Oos.
Oh yeah.
And so that was the first thing, and then we had kind of the hierarchy of needs.
Look, you even have it down. Why didn't you say anything?
That was, what's funny that I drew that for. I drew a pyramid with layers in my notebook, and he's pointing to that.
I mean, you
'Cause
could
we
always
were-
show the camera if you really want.
There's really not much
They're just
to
notes.
show. It's tiny too. I'd have to put it
Fine.
up there. But yeah, I was just gonna sum up stuff, but it's
No,
whatever.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's the next thing was what we talked about, the hierarchy of needs, how some things you could kind of play with a little bit. There is some pliability, but when you don't satisfy those bottom rungs, those needs, then the other things don't happen. And I guess that pyramid of needs would be more of a need, like what you can go off of, what's a need and a want, because you're trying to satisfy those things in the pyramid. So that can be your reference frame if you really don't know needs or wants. Find where you're at, then you could find your next need and just kind of go from there. That's setting your parameters.
I completely forgot about that pyramid, but that is definitely a good reference point, just so you can keep yourself in check.
Man, I should underprepared.
Underprepared, but
Okay.
we did it. So see you guys
Next time.
next time, which is in 2 weeks. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment on our YouTube video.
And we'll go ham next
And,
time.
yeah,
we
we
need to go
will-
ham next time.
We'll go very ham next time. So
Alright.
ham, we go turkey,
That's pretty goddamn ham.
Pretty ham.
Yeah.
All right, well, goodbye, guys.